Whoa. Don't mind the crazy hair. Just gonna go live here. I figured out how to turn... Oh, no, I have the camera the right way. Cool, look at me. Just getting some stuff set up. Just gonna go live, talk to some of my friends. See if this day works out for anybody. What's up? Got a couple people in here. How you guys doing today? Just live. Gonna be taking excursion questions and yeah, I don't know, talking excursion stuff. It's kind of what I'm looking to do here. All right, here's that. I made the tripod way too tall. Just, you know, gonna set up here. In front of my really nice door that I did a good job of messing with on this last trip. Just drove this excursion, and it is windy. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. This is the windy stuff here today, and it's kind of annoying. Normally, I come on live and I've got projects to do, and I have people sit behind me, and, well, sometimes I have people sit behind the camera. Sometimes I don't, and it ends up like this, but I'm live for a couple minutes. Just gonna keep hanging out here, looking for people to ask some questions about the excursion or the trip or your personal excursion, or I don't know, anything like that. That's what these lives are going to be. So we have started this. This is going to be a weekly thing. This type of chat, you're going to see, I'm going to try and do 3 videos, maybe 4 videos a week that are kind of called Chats with the Geek. And if you are an excursion person, if you're just an old Ford Super Duty person, you're going to want to pay attention to those, because they're going to be random facts, random upgrades, and also you're going to want to comment on those with your questions. I don't know. It feels weird saying that, what up, Blaze? How are you, man? So I mean, definitely, if you are an owner of an older Super Duty or an Excursion, you're gonna want to pay attention to them, because I'm gonna be answering your questions. So I guess I'm kind of the Excursion guy. Not kind of. I am the Excursion guy. I gotta be better at asserting myself. That's who I am. So Geeks 4x4 is the Ford Excursion online thing. Dude, 4 a.m. is way too early to wake up. Jesus versus the devil. Well, I've read the book, and Jesus wins. So that's the answer to that. But yeah, mostly just want to try and keep this excursion content related, so that when people watch it, you've got a live with the geek that is a Ford Excursion or F-250 or something like that content. I just got back from 6,000 miles in this here Excursion. When I left, it didn't have these beautiful scratches in it, but it's all part of a rock crawling, all part of the fun. We did 6,000 miles. Let's see, what went wrong with the truck in 6,000 miles? Holden versus Ford. I don't know, man. Holden, I don't really know hardly anything about. But I am a massive Ford guy. So I will always say Ford. I don't know. I thought Holden was part of Ford. No, they have those other things. What's up? Is it Dive Sit in Alta? I like it. I like it. You have a 6.0, and you are thinking about a Cummins swap. This is the kind of topics that I'm hoping to cover in these lives here. So I have not considered a Cummins swap. There are a few reasons for that. In the off-road world, I the off-road world, reliability is so key. And yes, a Cummins swap is reliable. You're right. Could be reliable. I shouldn't say is. um, but it's a diving channel. Oh, you're near X's dive wagon. Cool, man. I feel like I saw you posting on some of the Facebook forums or something recently about building one. I'm glad you made it over here. That's awesome. Um, yeah, so I have not thought about a Cummins swap. Like I said, in the off-road world, reliability is the key thing. And not that a Cummins swap could not be reliable, but the amount of work that it takes to make a swap of any type reliable is really a ton of work and a ton of money. And I don't have a ton of money. And so to me, I like going with something that I know is engineered well. My two Excursions, I've got, this is a V10, and I own another one that is a white one that my grandpa bought new. It's a 7.3 truck. And I think, and as you'll notice a lot of off-road builds by bigger names and stuff, a lot of them keep a factory drivetrain because the amount of engineering that went into a factory drivetrain is something that I could never ever do with any amount of time put into a swap. It's also like really hard to get cruise control and air conditioning and things like that to work really well on a swapped vehicle. It's a lot of times people just don't have cruise or stuff. And for me, cruise control is extremely important because I drive this truck all over the place. So that's kind of like my, quick end thoughts to it. I know it does answer the question a little bit, but it doesn't give you like a great I mean, but that's I like the reliability of a factory drivetrain. And I'm not going to buy a factory drivetrain that I don't think is reliable in general, because there are some that aren't. And unfortunately, that 6-liter has gotten a really bad rap. But there are guys now that are fixing those and making them really, really good. I just was hanging out with a guy. His Instagram handle is a design tuning. And I don't know if he has a YouTube, but on Instagram, he's a design tuning. He's in Spokane. He's got a built 6-liter that is awesome. He writes tunes. Like somebody like that could build you a 6-liter that was more reliable and had more power than a Cummins. Uh, so yeah, the V10 has been incredibly reliable. Like I've put 25, maybe 30,000 miles on this thing with 40s. And I have had to replace the idle air control, but I could have just cleaned it. But I was in St. Louis, Missouri, I don't live in Missouri. I live in Washington State, and I didn't want to clean the old idle air control. I actually like on an off-road vehicle having two idle air controls because then I can switch them out if I want to. So I bought another one, and I'll clean the factory one now that I'm home. And yeah, that's the first thing I had to do. The guy before me put spark plugs in it, and they are Motorcraft plugs. They're not Motorcraft coils. But the freaking V10, I've been really impressed with the V10 reliability-wise. What do you think is the best-selling and most demanded car in the U.S. these days, buddy? Our best-selling vehicle, I think, is still the Ford F-150. I'm pretty sure that it is the best-selling and most demanded vehicle in the United States. And it's a great vehicle. But yeah, trying to keep this excursion related here. So yeah, I've been really impressed with the V10. It doesn't have tons of power, um, but it makes power in high RPMs, and if you gear it down enough, it'll do what you want. If you're trying to tow a trailer all the time, I don't think that the V10 is the right motor. But if you're just daily driving the thing and need to tow on the weekends or do, I think that it is an excellent choice. What's up, Wolfgang? I see you there. How are you today? I found a crawl gear set. I have not done that in the transfer case yet. Yeah, the hairline is killing me. I know, getting old here. Um, I the transfer case is still factory. It's even the electronic shift still. It is clocked up. It has 488 gears in the axles now. And then I've been kind of looking at an Atlas, but I've also just discovered and really started looking into Off-Road Design makes a, man, I cannot think of the name of it. Makes a box that goes between between a 205 and the transmission. That's like essentially a doubler for the 205. It's the Magnum box, I think is what it's called. And so that Magnum box, I think is what it's called, gives you essentially like as low as a 530 to 1 or something in the transfer case, but it also gives the ability to run the front axle separately, which is a big deal for a long wheelbase rig like this on the trail, because then I can dig it's called front digging. So I can dig the front tires and turn them and turn the whole truck without the back tires actually pushing the truck forward. So that's why the Magnum box is kind of an interesting thing. Atlas does the same thing. So the next big thing, they're not cheap. I think the Magnum box is like $2,500, and I need a 205 too because it doesn't go in front of the 271. So there's a lot of work there. It is an Excursion. What do I think about a Silverado with a 5.912 valve? Well, Wolfgang, that is a vehicle that was never produced by Chevy. That is a Cummins swapped Silverado, I bet. And it makes it cooler, I guess. I don't know. I was just talking about Cummins swapped and engine swaps in general, and I am not a huge fan of them because I like cruise control and I like all of that type of thing. Yes, so Omade, 0 star. Thank you, man. I appreciate you watching that. Hey, you guys are in here right now. You should hit the like button and stuff too. I always forget to ask on these. Hit the like button. You are welcome to donate. All this money goes straight into these trucks. But yeah, that's my Excursion in the back here. It does have a 6.8 liter V10 in it. I got a 7.3 one sitting outside as well. This one is on 40s, and the back of it has been bobbed. So kind of a crazy one. Thank you, Wolfgang. Yeah, it is pretty cool. I dig it. It's been a ton of work. And you can tell, I mean, the rock sliders are in the door, and yeah. How difficult was the axle swap? Miguel, come and swap with an Allison. That's the only way to go. What are your thoughts? I mean, you're kind of right, except like I just got done saying earlier, unfortunately with a swap, you're never guaranteed that everything's going to work right. So like if you can figure out cruise control and air conditioning and all that stuff, then cool. Come and swap's awesome. To me, the ultimate Excursion is a 7.3. I have one out back and it's amazing. It has 350,000 miles on it. Yeah, so I'm scary. Great. The 05 axle swap is not hard. So I have videos on this channel if you are interested. Also, you guys should hit the like button. There's only 1 like so far. And man, there's more people in here. I'm just kidding. So yeah, 05 axle swap is not that hard. It's just drilling holes and taking your time. Um, the motor in the truck behind me is a V10. Thanks, Wolfgang. Yeah, so I can do an updated thing on it. There's not much more to show though. Like if you're looking for like more showy stuff, I try to do everything in those videos. And obviously sometimes I got it and sometimes I didn't. Uh, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth doing for an off-road rig. I definitely agree with that. This is an Excursion. It is a bobbed Excursion. But I do think that the coil swap is worth doing, especially for an off-road truck. A lot of people that are towing are doing it as well. And because it drives better, it's like the steering wheel feel is like way tighter, and it just drives better. It seems to go down the road better. It does ride better. I don't know. Some people are like, it rides very good, and I'm like, I don't know that it does ride that great. It rides way better with Skyjacker springs than it did with stock springs, so I guess I can give them that. But I don't know. So yeah, that's my kind of axle swap a little bit. I've got the 05 to 07. I have Redhead's HD box, which is like a 5-bolt thing with a massive sector shaft, and it's tapped and ported for hydro because now it has RAM on it and stuff. So turning 40s with lockers with Detroits in the back and then the back in the front is not something you can do without a RAM. So I put a RAM in it. How much horsepower? I don't know. The V10 does not make very much horsepower. I think it's like 225 horsepower. It's very sad. Yeah, the V10 does sound pretty dang good, though. I do agree. If you get the Chevy Silverado, dude, you have to check all kinds of things if that's the one you're buying with a motor swap, because you have to make sure that they did everything right with the motor swap. And I've never done one, so I have no idea. I'm not a checklist person. Do I eat a lot of oil? Personally, no. The old V10, it does burn a little bit of oil, but that is actually in Ford spec for a V10. Thank you for the like, whoever just did that, or something. Something was thrown. I don't know. If you haven't hit the like button, you should. The V10, let's see, I just drove it 6,000 miles. I burned, it's happy. It's smiley face. It's great. I burned 4 quarts of oil in 6,000 miles. It's not that bad, I don't think. There's definitely worse. How long did it take to build? I bought this truck in January of 2021. So, it's not done yet, and I don't know that it will ever be done. But it took me, the first time it was on the trail was in March of 2022. So it took about a year to get it ready to get on a trail. And then, yeah, most of this stuff was, most of the big stuff, like, so I bobbed it, and then I did all the rock sliders, and it's coil swapped, and like most of that stuff was done. The lockers and things just got done recently, so was kind of the last thing. Wolfgang, a 5.9 Cummins is a great motor, but it is not the factory motor for that truck. So it's only reliable if they did a good enough job on swapping it. And I've never swapped a vehicle, and so I have no idea how, to what to look for and what to show you or anything like that. But yeah, people really like those 5.9s. I've also never owned one of those motors. That's a Dodge motor. Any experience with Nissans? I have never owned a Nissan. Oh yeah, close up of my terrible hairline. I have never owned a Nissan. I currently, one of my really good buddies has an Xterra with, I don't know, first gen Xterra, I think is what it is, with like over 200,000 miles on it. It's pretty sweet. Is it an old one that you're thinking of doing a two-wheel drive? Is it like a hard body that you're thinking of doing a two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive conversion? Or is it a newer one? The reason I ask is because nowadays it's almost cheaper. Yeah. Own it. Second gen, 06. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes it's cheaper just to, like, unless yours is really, really nice or something, sometimes it's cheaper just to start over and find one that is a four-wheel drive and start over and build that one instead. Because sourcing all the right parts and getting it all to work right can be a really, really big challenge. I don't know if you had a donor vehicle that had a bad body on it or something, yeah, I get sentimental value for sure. So yeah, I mean, maybe buy a donor and swap your body or do something like that. But if you are going to swap something like that, to have a donor vehicle there so that any part you come across that you need, that you don't have to go find, I think that's a really, really big thing for making it better. Because, yeah, because trying to find stuff like like a like this when I swapped in the '05, trying to find the stupid steering stabilizer bracket for the factory setup on an '05. At the time that I did this, there were none available on eBay or anywhere. Like, I couldn't find one, so I had to build one. So if I was gonna do a swap like that, like intensive, right? Because you have to put a different transmission in it or change the back cone on the transmission, because the two-wheel drive transmission has a longer back cone on it so that you can't bolt the transfer case on it. So you either need to swap that, then you need to put a transfer case in it, then you need to put the drive shaft in it, then you need to put the front differential in it, all the control arms, all the knuckles, all, like, the amount of things you have to swap is crazy. Yeah, most of the mechanical components, just can't figure out a way to control two-wheel drive high to low. Yeah. Thank you, Scrub Rebel. Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, if you have got most of the stuff, I mean, is that all computer controlled from the factory? I don't know how any of that works on those. But if it's computer control from the factory, that's hard. It's just you almost need that other vehicle so you can pull that computer out of it, pull the knob to it, the switch, and then transfer it over, you know. What's up, Leo? See ya, Wolfgang. Thanks for hanging. Yeah, I don't know how any of that's controlled. On that type of thing. But like I said, yeah, look for something. If you could make that transfer case manual, that might be a better option to switch it from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. Thanks, Two-Wheel Drive X. Is that an Xterra you're working on too? You're gonna change your name, man. You're gonna have to be that four-wheel drive Xterra instead of that two-wheel drive. You know. I kid. Maybe I should go. Should I go further away? All right. What other questions we got in here? This has been great so far. I'm really glad. 25 minutes in, actually got some people around. Really appreciate you guys being here. If you're watching right now and you want to hit that like button, I would also really, really appreciate that. I think I turned on super thanks or something. I don't know. I turned on some new YouTube features that are kind of exciting. So if you wanted to play with that, you are more than welcome to. Thank you, Great Mammoth, for liking. I very much appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try and do this every week. So every Wednesday, we're going to do a chat with the geek or a conversation with the geek. I think I named the playlist conversation with the geek. But I kind of like chats with the geek. What do you guys think? Should I do chats with the geek or conversations with the geek? But anyway, the idea is that I'm going to be doing this every week live, so we can just talk about things. And then I'm going to be doing other individual videos on individual topics. So if you see one of those videos and you have another topic, it's harder to find the comments in this one. So it'd be better if you asked me. Thanks for what am I getting? I don't know if you're watching this or if you just texted me. But yeah, so the idea is that every week I'm going to come in here and be able to do some things like this, answering questions from you guys. And then there are going to be a couple of 3 to 5 minute videos in the rest of it. A Cushman. Yeah, I've heard of a Cushman. That's a golf cart, right? I think it's a golf cart. Oh, don't know anything about them, but I know I've definitely heard of one. Man, I need to figure out how to make this. Oh, I zoomed in on myself. Figure out this chat. It's like it's so small. Yeah, and 3-wheelers. Yeah, those things are sweet. Cushman makes, I think they make golf carts too, but probably one of their models. The old school 3-wheeler golf cart. I like it. You got one of those? And I try not to do weird things and look weird in this. Cool. Cool. What are you doing with that thing? Oh, yeah, it's in your picture. See, the picture is like, it is so small on this that it is really annoying. So, is that like your rig, or are you just like one of the toys you play with to mess around, or is that something you're like driving around? Don't look weird. Don't look weird. Don't be weird. This live thing is so goofy. Every time I look at myself, I'm like, what am I doing? Why do I look like that? Yeah. It's a toy. Great. Yeah, those things are rad. Is it enclosed? Again, I can't tell from the little picture. Is it like an enclosed cab, or is it an open air cab? Also, I think I'm gonna move. I think I'm gonna change the position here. This is, again, the first week I've ever done this, so I'm trying to find the positioning that makes the most sense so that people can see this excursion and myself. If I do this, ooh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Okay, can I? Yep. All right, cool. Making it an off-roader, frick, yeah. User 854. No, buddy, I'm gonna hide that comment. That's gross. It's open now. You're gonna make it closed. No doors. That's awesome. Yeah. Are you an excursion guy too? Great Mammoth? Great Mammoth is a great name. That should be my name of my other truck. Or if I build a white one of these with 40s on it, it should be the Great Mammoth. I feel like that would be a cool name. Great Yeti. The Yeti Excursion. I don't know. Always got to be thinking about those things. We got any other excursion questions? So that is the idea. Nobody really cares, Max. I mean, I'm just here. So, I don't know. Just here, not caring. And if you don't care, you can just go to the next video. It's not a big deal. Yeah, what other excursion questions you guys got? We're just kind of rolling through. We had some good excursion questions at the beginning there. We were talking about coil swaps. Like I said, gonna be on here once a week here. just kind of talking to you guys. I want to answer some Excursion questions. So I'm probably gonna shoot for an hour every week. People on the West Coast are gonna be annoyed though, so I might have to change the time or I don't know. This blue Excursion behind me, I bought in January of 2021. There is a white Excursion right behind this shop outside that my grandpa bought brand new in 2000 in November or October of 2000. So I've owned Excursions for 25 years. So I like Excursions a lot. Next fabrication project. You know what's funny? I was saying last night that this trip went really well. We did a lot of miles and the truck did really well. And I don't have like a massive fabrication project ahead of me currently, which is really weird. Except I do. So I've got two. The wings to the bumper are a little bit weak. I kind of pushed one into the side of something on this trip and it moved. And so I really need to go through and redo the wings. By wings, I'm saying, those parts that are out with the lights in them. And I really like the center section of the bumper really well, but that section of the bumper seems like it could use some improvement. So that might be the next thing I work on. And then the other big thing is the hope with this truck is that it gets to go on Ultimate Adventure. And so one of the requirements for Ultimate Adventure is a roll cage. And so this truck is going to get a full roll cage at some point whenever I don't have a bender currently, so I can't do it myself. Hoping to get some help with that. Have some ideas on who I'd like to help. That would be really fun. But I need to have enough money that I can pay them or buy parts, buy metal and stuff. Are there aftermarket skid plates? Nobody makes one. I built the skid plates for this truck myself. So this truck does have a skid plate underneath. The transfer case is clocked up, and then there's a skid plate across the transfer case, and there's a skid plate on the transmission pan. So that's another fabrication project that needs to happen. Is I need to build a skid plate for my gas tank, and then I also need to build and mount my second gas tank, which is getting worked on right now, but I don't know where we're at in that process with a buddy of mine who's been busy. So, yeah, so I need to build a skid plate for that, the second tank, and mount it with the skid plate, and then build a skid plate for the first tank, because custom gas tanks are really fun. Yeah. Don't bob it. Oh, now I'm getting tired. Man, I gotta get used to this, talking to people for an hour every week on the live here. If you haven't hit that like button, still here. Titan tanks, do they make something? I don't know. I had to build a custom tank because of the bob on the back. The tank for the center is also going to be custom. A lot of those aftermarket bigger tanks, they're insanely expensive, first of all. And secondly, they stick below the frame rail a ton. And when you're driving over rocks, the frame rail's not something you want to be sticking below. So I am building a tank that's going to stick below the frame rail, like, I think a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch at the max point. It'll only hold like 12-15 gallons, but that'll be enough to get me. I'm at 23 right now, and if I can get back into that realm of 35-40 gallons, that would be awesome. So I should look up the Titan tanks thing, though. I think the last time I looked, somebody made something, and I think it was like $1,500. And I was like, that's way too much money. Hey, I don't have that kind of money. Nobody's giving right now, so I don't have that kind of money. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So that's not. I got enough other things on this truck that I had to spend a bunch of money on. So I'm not gonna spend money on something like that. But I know those companies make really nice products. So not dissing that company, not anything like that. But yeah. I don't like spending money on things like that. If I can make them, or I have friends that can help me make them. And then it's all custom, which is good and bad. It's mostly okay. Sometimes. All right, other questions. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this live once a week for the foreseeable future. See if I can help building this community and help building this YouTube page. I am really trying to make this pay for some things and be some sort of income. And so me going live is about helping you guys. And I'm not asking you guys to pay for that. I'm not asking that, but if you're going to buy parts or you're going to buy something on Amazon, you obviously, use my store. Would love that. But if you guys just watch and you guys just give me questions and we just hang out for an hour live every week, or maybe more, maybe less. I don't really know how this is going to work. That would just help this channel grow. And so I'm hoping that Wednesdays at 2 work, 2 my time, because that gives me a chance, even when I'm back working at the school, I have to leave at like 2:40. So it still gives me like 40 minutes of time that I can actually do, or like 30 minutes. And so that's kind of the hope, is that Wednesdays at 2 o'clock, we're going to be on here, or we'll be talking to you. And then you're going to see the chats with the geek, or conversations with the geek. I don't know which one you like better. Just trying to get some people to give me some input here on which name you think is more catchy. Conversation with the geek, or chats with the geek, or my principal. No. No, I'm not a principal. And so, yeah, conversations or chats with the geek. You're going to see those videos coming up 2 other times a week. So there'll be like 3 videos a week consistently, just me talking. Those other ones are just going to be 3 to 5 minutes explaining something that somebody asked in the comments. So if you have a question that is specific that you want to know, you should comment on this video if you're watching it afterwards. The live chat's a little hard because I can't just like write down the question, and I don't really know how to get back to the live chat questions. Maybe I'll learn that someday. Thanks for the other like, whoever just hit the like button. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people that say helping your channel is going live and doing a lot of things consistently, and that's what I want. I want to build this community. What I am about is building a community and helping. So I am interested in helping you guys keep these Ford Excursions on the road, because I think that these are really some of the best vehicles ever built, and I want to see them. I want to see people enjoying them, and sometimes it takes a little bit of work to enjoy them, because the last owner wasn't very nice to it. So, and if you got dreams, or if you got a vision for it and you want to just run it by somebody, I want to help you. I want to be that person. So, give you my honest opinion. You might not like it sometimes. I've not been told I have, I'm a good influence or not, but I'm an influence, I guess. That in my face, I was just born this way. Sorry. Wasn't blessed with a really good-looking gene, so I'm just here putting my face on the internet to get made fun of. So I appreciate you making fun of me for the day. Thanks, man. Yeah, the live will be fun. because we get comments. And people are rude on the internet. Pretty fun. Other excursion questions. Fellow excursion. Does my car have no. No, it doesn't. Why would it? I don't. No. What other excursion questions do we have? Anybody in here? Anybody in here building an excursion right now? Got 18 people watching, which is not bad. Any of you guys currently working on an excursion or thinking about buying an excursion? Wider rock rails. No. It doesn't need wider rock rails. That's not what happened to the door. It's the door was just that's just the way it's gonna be sometimes, and that's okay. I live in Washington State, folks. Is where I live. So, yeah. No, I don't. The rock sliders are fine. I could do a lot of work to make them wider, but I don't want to. couple of dents in the bottom of the door aren't gonna bug me. And so far the door still opens. So unless I get really hard on the other doors, we'll see. Holy smokes! Thank you for. It looks like you just sent $20. That's pretty incredible. Appreciate that. I look like a gaming character. I do, huh? Interesting. Super weird. Short king. I guess you could say I was a short king. I'm currently sitting down. I'm 6'3", so if you want to say that's short, that's fine. Power outlets. Power outlets. So, yeah. So, power outlets. Hop in your manual. Well, I can grab mine right. Let me grab mine. Except I don't know what your use is. That's why I'm here. Let's do this thing. Let's see if I can just find the page. I think I have it earmarked in this one. Maybe not. Fuses, 139. See, I write this into my manual because the fuses are always something that I'm looking at the manual for. 139. Let's see, my friend, if we can find Michael, I'm still trying to find your thing. I hope you're still here. Michael, let's see. Cigarette lighter. It says cigar lighter, actually. It is in the box in the under the dash, so under the steering column. And it is number 3. So it is this fuse right there. Is one of them. Let me see if there's another one. Glove box lamp, speed control, relay, power windows, lock switch. Does your OBD2 reader still work, Michael? Because if your OBD2 does not work, or if you know or don't, that's definitely the 20 amp fuse. It does work, or it doesn't work. Dude, it is windy here. How did you know? Sorry, Scream. I do for a living is this. Oh, your OBD2 does work. All right. So if you've already replaced that fuse in fuse 3, there's another one, though. Instrument cluster, radio start, instrument cluster, interior relay, accessory delay. Don't have that one. Dude, my hair is pushed back because my hairline is running away from my face. It's not windy inside my garage now. Trailer tow, gasoline, floor console. So there's another one. It's fuse 7 in the under hood one. It's a 20 amp. And then there's another one for the cargo one, which is in the very back, and that's fuse 11. In the under hood one. Ice cream, I have no idea, buddy. The steering wheel gets hard when the motor gets hot. Sounds like your power steering fluid is overheating and messing itself up. I would probably replace the power steering fluid and possibly switch it to something else. Where I'm using like ATF stuff. So if you look up ATF synthetic or ATF plus 4 or something, there's one that is actually rated to run in power steering. And I don't know what country you are in, or if you can just get that, but yeah. Also, this picture is in my manual. It's pretty rad. It's one of those old school pictures. I don't know. Truck drove up, whatever that was. Oh, this is right by the Flintstone house in Sand Hollow, Utah. Pretty wild. Pretty cool spot. I dig it. And a friend took that for me. Pretty great stuff. All right, what else we got for excursion questions for the geek? This is, I've said it every 10 minutes or so. This is the Chats with the Geek live. We are going to do this once a week for until I stop. But I'll be back next week, probably. And what year is this truck? This is a 2000. And yeah, so we're going to do Chats with the Geek once a week at, and I'm thinking Wednesdays at 2. I'm going to kind of stay on here maybe a little longer today than I will normal days. I don't really know. We'll see. If a bunch more people come on at 3 o'clock Pacific time, we will keep going. But for now, we're living our best life. Got Brazil in the house. In Brazil. Cool, man. That's awesome. That's crazy to me, the connections that this gets here. Just your e-brake. What's it doing? I do not run Mickey's. I would love to run Mickey Thompson. You should email them and tell them they should sponsor Geeks 4x4. Just kidding. You should, though. Yeah, Mickey Thompson is, I really like their 40. These are Coopers. These are the Cooper STT Pros on this thing. Adjust your e-brake. I got my camera too far away. I can't read. Recent trip, I mentioned burning oil. The V10, so Dennis, thanks for the question. So I'm going to jump on this. Nigeria's in here. Okay, Richard, give me just a second. So Dennis, the Ford spec for the V10 is like, I think it's something ridiculous, like a quart 1,000 miles is it within Ford spec. So it's super common that these V10s are eating oil. It is not a big deal. just check it. I check mine. I try and check it every 700 miles or so when I'm on a trip like that. And sometimes it needs oil, sometimes it doesn't. The other thing I do is I started to run the Lucas oil stabilizer. And I don't remember if I put it in my store yet on Amazon, but the white jar. Remind me at some point or email me if you want, or comment on this later and I can respond to you with a link to the one I'm talking about. That has helped a ton. But this truck has 230,000 miles on it, and so the mileage gets up there and just starts getting past the rings, and it's not a big deal. The biggest part is keeping oil in it, right? I mean, you can't run it without oil. That's not a good idea. So you just got to start thinking about it and watching it. It's not something I would worry about, and I would just keep it up, check it up. Hasn't bugged me at all. It burns oil. It's burned oil since the day I bought it, and it burned oil worse when I bought it. Now that I'm running the Lucas stuff, it burns oil. It burns way less oil. So maybe. Richard, on your e-brake, you should probably check the shoes because I think they are self-adjusting. And so you got to get in there and look at them and see. Somebody might have driven that thing around with them on or something at one point and wore them down to the point where they couldn't, because I think that they are self-adjusting. So I would get a look at them, and there's not really a adjustment thing on the cable and stuff. It's all done within the drums, and the drums are the inside of the discs in the back on an Excursion. If you have an Excursion. If you don't have an Excursion, I have no idea. No problem, Dennis. Yeah, again, I just not something I'd be concerned about. I don't know. How many miles are on yours, Dennis? I guess if it only has 100,000 miles, maybe. Okay, Richard. Yeah, 2000 Excursion. Yeah, corrosion can make it. You are completely right, the family main. Corrosion can make it a real pain for brakes, but I believe that all the adjustments are inside of that brake drum, quote unquote. That's the inside of our rear discs. So because there's not really, the cable just goes straight. I'm thinking the cable just goes straight to the thing, and there's not even any slides or anything on the cable down underneath. So everything is inside of that, and it might have those like old scroll wheels. I've never actually played with one. I just had to hook these ones up when I swapped the axles, but it might have those little scroll wheels on it that, like an old school one that needs a spoon to tighten it up. But I'd be willing to bet that we're the right age vehicle that somebody could have easily driven around with them on and worn them out on you. Oh, the sprocket can. Yeah, that's a really good point, the family main. The good thing is Richard is in California. He's probably not dealing with corrosion. But he's probably not dealing. It could be. It could just have a rock in it and it didn't move or something like that to adjust itself. I don't know. 218, Dennis. Yeah. So like I said, this truck had 213 on it when I bought it, and it was burning. It was burning 250,000. It was doing all of that. Now it's burning like a. It's burning. I don't know. I don't know. It's like 1,500 now. So it's changed it a lot. So essentially, buying the Lucas stuff pays for a couple of quarts of oil that it doesn't burn, and then it has a little bit better stuff in it. So I don't know. Maybe it's better to not do it and just run different oil. I tried 1030 in it when I first 1030 or 10. I think I put 1030 in it the first oil change because I'd read online where a bunch of guys were running 1030 in the V10, and it does not like the cold with 1030 in it. It still has trouble because it wants 520, and I still have stuff in the cold where this thing, like, the I think it probably needs an oil pressure sender because it will literally like not tell me that it doesn't have oil pressure for like a minute and a half in the wintertime, and I can hear that it has oil pressure. So who does what work? I do all the work on this truck, if that's what you're talking about. I don't know what else you could be talking about, but yeah, on this truck, it is me, myself, and I. So, well, and some friends, but mostly me. I've done every bit of fabrication of this truck myself, and installing parts, and well, let's see. I get Jiffy Lube to do the oil changes because I do everything else, and I don't want to dispose of oil. Manual, power steering hose. You know, if a power steering hose is collapsed, maybe, but it really shouldn't have anything to do with it. It's something in the way the fluid is moving. If you can tell a power steering hose is collapsed, maybe, but I don't know unless you could tell. I mean, you'd have to be able to see it collapse, I think. Thanks, Richard. Have a great one. Like I said, we're going to be doing this every week. And if you have other questions throughout the week that you want me to answer with these other just like short Chat with Geek videos, you are welcome to just ask it in the comments on any of those. So glad to be helping this community. Glad to have you here. Thank you for the like, whoever just gave me a nice heart. Appreciate that goodness. It is windy outside. You can hear the trash can lid just slamming. So yeah, I'm here. The reason that you're seeing me live is because I'm the Excursion guy, and I want to help you with your Ford Excursion questions, and want to help you with anything you need to keep these trucks on the road. And you're going to see Chats with Geek a lot more often. You're going to see me 3 times a week. 2 videos are just going to be 3 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to have a live every week. And the thought is that I'm going to go live on Wednesdays at 2. This seems like a decent time. Got some decent people in here. I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see if we end up moving it around. But I want to try and be consistent. Definitely next week will be Wednesday at 2 again. And now I've been live for almost an hour, answered a whole bunch of questions, and I'm still going to just hang out. We'll see. Well, you're going to try the 3 o'clock hour crowd too, see if any of them come on in. And yeah, so if you got a question, we're in a little lull right now, would love to answer it right now. All right, 400R. Yeah, good old 4R100. You know, I don't want to tell you how it's doing because it's doing well enough that I'm afraid I'm going to jinx it. I'm just kidding. No problem, Manuel. Yeah, my 4R100 is surprisingly doing well, which again is surprising me because now I was pushing 40s with 410s for a really long time with this poor thing, and it was doing it. I also, when I'm climbing really steep things, there's not enough fluid in the torque converter, I think, that it just loses connection sometimes. So that's kind of fun. So it just like pops out of gear and then pops itself back in. But dang, the thing just keeps going. I put a 6-liter cooler on it. Obviously, if you feel like yours is doing weird things now, then you're a little too late. But I put a 6-liter cooler, bypassed the radiator actually, so it's just going to the 6-liter cooler. There's a full video on that on the channel with all the hoses, all the converters, all the, you know, everything I could possibly get the camera close enough to film when doing it, and everything I learned, you know. So yeah, I think if you probably just search 6-liter cooler, or trans cooler or something, I can't remember exactly, on my channel, you will come across a video on the full 6-liter upgrade if you haven't done it. If you've done it and it's starting to have problems, it's time for a trans. These 4R100s, I killed and that's why I'm starting to get worried about this one too. So the one in my 7.3 went at 235. And this truck has probably right around that on it right now, because the speedometer's wrong with the tires, and it says 230. So it only worried me a ton on this recent trip because we were a long way from home. But yeah, I think it's okay. I just met a guy, AA Design Tuning. Been talking to him forever. He lives close to me, and he actually said he can tune a V10 too. So we can put a Hydra on our V10s and actually run a tune. So I'm gonna buy a Hydra probably and have him write me some tunes so that I can have like a crawl tune that does some different things with the motor. But the biggest thing is we can like lock the transmission and things on a crawl tune. So it'd be really cool to like have a crawl tune that was locked in first when it was in drive instead of having to slam it in first. And then one that also let it go first through second, because first and second are pretty good crawling, but I hate when it drops into third and fourth, especially when I'm in the sand dunes or stuff like that. It's really nice to stay in first and second, and if I could run through first instead of just slamming it in second in the shifter, that would be really cool. So I didn't even realize you could put a Hydra and tune these things a little bit. And he said he could probably change the shift points and make the transmission happier and stuff too. So that's kind of really cool. If I do that, obviously I'm going to make a video for you guys and give you all of his information, because he is incredible. He just he put some tunes in my white truck, and it is a completely different vehicle. I am so impressed at how smooth it is again. It was so messed up after I had done the injectors that it just hadn't run the same since as it did for the first 20 years of its life. And so he put his tunes in there, and the thing is like fixed, perfect. Love driving it again. It's great. Howdy, Ryan. How are you doing? Rye money. Yeah, exactly. So I'm super interested in seeing it. It's obviously like the Hydra is not cheap, and having, making sure that I can pay him and stuff is not cheap. So I don't know how quick that will be, but it might be this summer. We'll see. Got some other things, but yeah, so stay tuned for that. Definitely. That will be something that I'm doing. I just don't know when. Obviously things have to come together and we have to do it. So yeah, I'm interested. I don't know. He's like, you can get a little bit more power out of the V10 too. And I'm like, well, that's interesting too. I'm not expecting it to be that much more powerful. I like the V10 a lot, but I don't know that I would use powerful as a word to describe it. Likes RPMs. That's a great word. Any other questions in here as we are rolling through? My other thought on the transmission is there's two trains of thought. If I'm okay with it, this thing might stay in automatic after he tunes it. But honestly, I really like a manual. And I think it'd be cool to have a manual in this truck. But I probably need to do the transfer case along with it, unfortunately. So it's going to be a big and expensive swap to get a lower geared transfer case at the same time. And I would love a manual in this truck. So if mine really just craps the bed, I'm gonna have a hard decision. Before I tune it, I should say. I'm gonna have a really hard decision because it's gonna be like, well, should I just go buy a donor truck and swap it? So yeah, ZF6 is not a bad transmission. Low suck level. What else we got? Got some new people in here. If you are new in here and you don't know who I am, I'm Bryce. I'm the Geeks 4x4 guy. I'm also the Excursion guy on the old internet. And if you got a Ford Excursion, if you got the Super Duty of the same era, I know some things about the Super Duty, more about the Excursion. I will be honest. And honesty is definitely my worst internet personality trait. If I was less honest, being on the internet would be so much easier. Yeah, it would. All right, well, let me stare into your minds. Where do I stay? Wolfgang, you're back! Dude, remember I'm in Washington State. In my garage. On a windy day. With my hair pushed back. Nice. That was quick. Bro, you're in Thailand, Wolfgang? Man. We got people from all over the world on this little live chat. That is insane to me. Do you have an Excursion, Wolfgang? No, you're trying to buy a Chevy with the Cummins in it. Chevy. Gross. We are... Oh, you're Australian, but you stay there. Awesome. That's a different spot. Gad. YouTube blocked that comment because I don't know. Maybe it's likes to get dirty. I don't know. That's really funny. F250 CCJB, and it's four-linked front and rear. Dude, rear four-linked. That's a lot of work. That's an interesting. Yeah, so CC is crew cab long bed. Okay, I never paid attention to all those things. That's a big truck. What size tires you got on that thing? And it's an 03. So is it a 6-liter or is it a 7.3 or is it a V10? Is it a 5.4? Full traction. Oh, rear trailing link. But does that still have the full traction kit? Does that still run the leaf springs, or is that an actual like 4-link kit? Ooh, 6-liter. Still got leafs. Yeah. I don't hate the leafs. Are you still running stock length leafs? Because you can run 08s. That's one of my next fabrication things. I still have a list. Don't worry. I'm just in the mode right now. I feel like I get in, like after a trip, I'm just not in the mode of thinking about the truck as much, so I don't remember everything. You can run the 08 Leafs. They're a little bit longer. They're kind of like a long travel Leaf. And they will, I don't know, probably give you more travel. I'm going to run them in the back of this. I hope. Try and make them to where it'll sit low. That's the thing. Sitting low. My garage door is 7 foot, and I like a truck that's low. So I can't go any higher because the garage doesn't let me. I actually, when I first was going to build this truck, I was not expecting to be able to fit it in the garage in general. And so I'm so happy that it can go in the garage that now I don't want to mess that up. It kind of needs the garage. The windshield leaks. Stuff leaks. It happens. It's okay. Man, this wind. LAX airport, yeah. I'm glad I don't live in Southern California anymore. We were just in St. Louis and we were dealing with the parking structure thing because everybody wanted us to go places that were parking structure, and I was in this. And at 7 feet, you don't want to go in parking structures. Yeah, how I'm yawning. Not good. Bored myself. What else we got? What other questions we got in here? We've been live for an hour and 10 minutes now. This is week 1 of me going live every week. Some many lift, yeah. So this is week 1 of me going live every week. The plan right now, and I will if this changes, it'll be said on the next live video or the next Chat with Geek video. We are going to be going live Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Pacific time. 2 p.m. works. Seems to work. I mean, you got a couple West Coasters on here even. I really wasn't sure if it would work for West Coasters. But seems like I got a couple of you guys. That's an Excursion. Yes, sir. It's also, yeah, it's got all kinds of things done to it. It's an Excursion. But yeah, Chats with Geek. This is a new thing I started. We are going to do 3 to 5 minute videos twice a week, and we're going to go live once a week. And that live is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Come and talk to the geek. We'll see. We'll see if that stays. Take it for a ride. I actually can't drive being on live. But there it is. It's pretty cool. There's an LJ too. But yeah, it's my Excursion. Pretty sweet. Can I fit 10 people and the dogs? Technically, yes. But currently, no. My 40 is on the ground in the back as a spare. The spare tire is on the ground in the back of the truck, so I can't actually put the third row in it the way I have it set up. I don't need to haul 10 people. So I can haul 5 people and the dogs, and I have. Yeah, we did the pickle in Moab with 5 people in here and 2 dogs. So, pretty rad. How we doing, everybody else? Got some random people jumping in and out. If you got any Excursion questions, hit me up. I even got my my owner's manual sitting right here. Helped somebody earlier find what the fuse numbers things were. And I can answer owner's manual questions, I guess. You can ask me what was on page 27, and I tell you. I can read you the whole page if you want. Man, my trash can lid is just slamming out there. Just windy as heck. We're getting into spring here in Washington State, and the winds are blowing. Winds are blow. Winds from the east. This truck weighs, last time I weighed it, just over 7K with me, or sorry, 7,700 with me in it. On the last trip, it definitely weighed over 8 with the amount of crap that we had in it. We lived in this truck for 19 days in April, my wife and I. So we had a lot of stuff in it. So yeah. 77. So I bet it's now like 7750 with me or something like that. I added some. I just kind of played with some stuff since I've actually weighed it. So she's not light, but she's not that heavy. I got JK guys and Gladiator guys that are like pushing my weight or heavier. A friend with an international travel wall. No, it's a trout. Trout, scavel, it's a trout. The international trout is like 8,000 pounds. I think it's called a trout because it's on a scout frame with a harvester body. I don't remember. Dennis, 48s, 2,400 at 70. It's just to the point where with the MagnaFlow, it's starting to get into the tone of the exhaust, which is which is nice. If I were being honest, no, I'm just kidding. If you wanted to tow anything ever, this is not the right gear for you with 40s. Send me something like a picture, Wolfgang. Yeah, you can email me geeks4x4@gmail.com. Yeah, so 2400. I was saying on the gears. Yeah, if you wanted to tow anything ever, I would not go 488s. The reason I went 488s is I wanted to keep the RPM down on the freeway. It just gets annoying. 513 is only like 150 RPM gain, and then a 538 is only like 300 RPM more, so I'd be like 2,700 with a 538. It's better in the power band, I do agree. When this thing downshifts, though, it's at 34. It's like it's 1,000 RPM, and it'll climb just fine. It climbed every hill. Every hill minus the 70, Eisenhower Tunnel, and the pass out of Aspen were nasty. Wolfgang, I can't look at my email when I'm live, so I will email you back if you want to email me. geeks4x4@gmail.com. But yeah, the headwind would make it hold third sometimes. And we have freaking 8 a headwind everywhere we drove. So, I should drive east right now. This is going the right way, finally. Yeah, I think 488s are good. They're, like I said, they're a little low if you wanted to do more with it than like my plan, like rock crawl, and then I'm going to put really low gears in the transfer case. And so, it's got plenty low right now with 4 low, and it crawled great. What else we got, folks? If you can hit that like button, hit the like button, and a subscribe button. I don't know if you can see that one, but if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you are in here, you should freaking hit that like button, because look at me. I need a like. Yeah. I just did the chats with Geek Talk. What else we got? What other questions do you guys have about Ford Excursions or Ford stuff? No, I've got a sleeping platform in the back of this truck. That's what the spare tire is underneath. So I've got a full bed in here, and it's comfy. It's real comfy. Memory foam, comfier than my bed at home. Yeah, pretty nice. Got to build yourself a doghouse, you know, when you build a truck like this. Yeah, it works really good. I like it a lot. I know I don't like sleeping on the ground, so. And it's ready when you get there. When you have the bed in there and everything set up, it's like you show up and you pull the sheets down and you climb into bed and then you go to sleep. So it's pretty awesome. What are you sleeping? What are you sleeping in the back of that F-250? F-250. You got a rooftop tent or something? Or are you sleeping in the bed? Or are you sleeping on the ground? Also, Daniel, how you doing? Yeah, so somebody asked that. Wider wouldn't have really helped in the situations that I dented the door. And I don't want it to be wider because then it doesn't fit through things. So, honestly, no. For what a rock slider is for, with a rock coming up underneath as you go around, they're just fine. What I went through with it was a rock. I had the truck angled weird, and there was a rock doing this. And I was on the other side, so I didn't even feel it or know it. Nobody was spotting me or anything like that. And I just drove through, and it went over the door. It actually went on top of the rock slider. EDC, this one here is a V10 6.8, and there's one right about there that
has a 7.3 in it. So I got them both. V10, I think, is a much better rig for off-road. Honestly, I do. I think it's a better rig. And yeah. Fuel mileage, 7.3, 17 at 70 miles an hour. This truck on 40s with 488s, very little lift, is... What did I get? We had a headwind the whole trip. I think I was right between 10 and 12, mostly between 11 and 12. So I don't know that I ever got over 12 this trip, though. Maybe 12.1 or 12.3. I don't know. Not great, but not terrible, I think. When I built this truck, I was kind of hoping, I really fully expected to not get double digits when I started building this. The way everybody talks about these V10s, they're like, they just eat fuel and they do this and that. And 12 miles per gallon, stellar, I think. V10 is a stellar motor. EDC. The old V10 is... So U-Haul used it for a long time. Fleetwood used it for a long time. There's a mechanic in just about every little town that knows how to work on them because of those two reasons right there. And they have their issues, as all motors do, as all moving parts do, right? These early ones, this is a 2-valve, so any Excursion is going to have a 2-valve. None of them ever got the 3-valve, which is kind of interesting. But the heads on them don't quite have enough. Oh, it weighs way less. Wait for this spec. The biggest issue with them is the heads don't quite have enough threads for the spark plugs. And so if they start loosening, they actually blow the spark plug. So if you check the tightness of your spark plugs every once in a while, or just make sure they're torqued to spec, you're not going to blow plugs and you're going to be just fine. Run Motorcraft parts on it. The other problem with them is that they have exhaust manifolds that leak, and the manifolds absolutely suck to repair. So if you're going to buy one used, set another $1,000 aside and just plan to have somebody go through the exhaust manifolds for you. If you can find headers still, grab them, get them put on, get it taken care of. It's worth paying somebody. It took me 6 weeks, and it was hell. Crazy man, I don't care that you don't care. So I'm just here talking to some Excursion guys, man. If you don't want to be around, you can go to the next person that's live. V10, yes, that's exactly, Daniel gets it. So Daniel, here's the spec that is insane. My 7.3 with me in it weighs 8,300 pounds, bone stock, with about a quarter tank of fuel. So it's still another 100 pounds. Okay. This truck, when I bought it, about a quarter tank of fuel with me in it, 7,200 pounds. Same spec, 4-wheel drive, except this was an XLT, but there's really not much heavy stuff that changes between the XLT and the Limited. The cladding and stuff is probably good for 50 pounds, you know. And yeah, so 1,000 pounds different between the 7.3 and the V10. Not a problem, EDC. If you're considering getting an Excursion, I think a V10 is an excellent option. Yeah, it technically could truly be an extra 1,000 pounds of payload for the V10. I mean, they wear, they weigh 1,000 pounds less. So, I mean, yeah, in theory, you could have another extra 1,000 pounds of payload. JD, I don't want a GM. I don't like putting transmissions in things. And as a kid, we put like 4 transmissions in our Suburban, and we started buying Excursions. And I'll take a 3/4 ton truck over a 1/2 ton thing trying to be a truck. Yeah. But you can have your GM. No hard feelings from me. You can have it. I'll keep my Excursion. I like them. Like it a lot. Thanks, Wolfgang. Peace out, buddy. What's my opinion on Gen 2 Raptors? Which one is that? I don't know enough about those. Are those ones you can still get a V8 in? I buy Toyota. Yeah, buy Toyota, actually. Yeah, that makes sense. You come in here and say you had to buy GM, and then you tell me you buy Toyotas. Yeah, it's funny. Toyota makes a great car. I like stuff that can drive off-road. It doesn't have independent front suspension. Again, I just really like Fords, man. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want, but that's what I like. My opinion on Gen 2 Raptors. I'm glad I'm not funny, man. I'm so glad you're still here, crazy man. Because you don't care, but you're still here. It's awesome. That support is it feels so good, man. I really appreciate it. My opinion, I just like Raptors in general. If you want my opinion on Raptors, I don't really know what all the difference is in the generations. I think I like Raptors a lot. GM is better than Ford any day. I mean, maybe. It is what it is. Glad you're joking, crazy man. I appreciate it, man. Raptor is a dinosaur. Indeed, it is. A Ford dinosaur. Also an old dinosaur. Yeah, I just like to have fun with people. If you're gonna hang around and try and pick on me in the comments, it's more fun to laugh with you. Yo, Softwater bias. You are fiercely looking for a V10 to buy. Tow package of 430s. Anything else? Spark plugs and exhaust manifolds. Looking through the years, it's really not. I am a 4 years. Let's talk about the years here. It depends on what you want. In 2002, Ford went to some more electronic stuff. Yeah, you have, Saltwater Bass. I appreciate you being around. So in 2002, Ford put electronic stuff in the Excursion, which means it's an electronic air conditioning control. The gauge cluster is all electronic and all controlled by that GEM module setup. And I am just not, I'm not a fan of that. I am a young guy compared to a lot of folks, right? But I've learned that computers are what fail. And so for me, I actually like rolling the older stuff. So for me, I like 2000 to 2001. I like those first years. They've got knobs that control the AC instead. Engine-wise, motor-wise, for the V10, there's no difference. They all got a 2-valve. Somebody said something about they changed the heads later on. So it's possible in 2004 you have a head that has more threads in it. 2004, 2005, I don't really know. Never owned one of those. I will someday. But yeah, the wiring harnesses are crazy. The 430 gears are going to be your problem. I don't see a problem with buying a 4-wheel drive and not worrying about the gears and just re-gearing it. It's not that expensive, and then the gears are good, and you could put 456s in it if you wanted to. There's guys in Colorado that are towing with Ford Excursion V10s with 538s on a stock or a 33. There's a guy on the page that's always talking about it. And I get why he needs it. I drove through Colorado, and this truck struggled mightily. But it's not built for that. It's not built to drive on the road, so I'm not worried about it. But if you were buying one to tow, and you're going to do the gears anyway, why not go 456 or a 488 on a 33? I think that'd be a great setup. She'd run some nice high RPMs and tow all kinds of things. Aaron, what's up, man? Logan, yeah, the old wiring harnesses can be really expensive. New Fords, yeah, that's why I drive old Fords. See you, Wolfgang. So the gears, I bought lockers. The gear set is actually not that expensive. I think the gear set is like $250, and then the overhaul kit is like, oh man, I can't remember. I cannot remember. The gear set maybe is like $350 or $400 per axle. Labor's expensive, yeah. and I would pay somebody because it's not a job, and I did pay somebody. I went to Money Pit 4x4 in Cashmere, Washington. He has got 15 years of installing experience. The guy has forgotten more about gears than I will ever know. Like, he literally can feel 30 seconds, and he can feel the backlash. Like, it is insane. And you want somebody to install your gears that is like that, because you're going to get a gear that's going to last way longer. So through Yukon, they're not super. Yeah, there you go. So 5K installed with jumbo U-joints in the front. So is that on a Dana 50 still, Daniel? Interesting. ARP front with a true track rear. So if you're not buying the locker setup, the lockers are one of the most expensive parts. I bet you can get out. You got a 60 in the front. Cool. Did you get the jumbo U-joints from a 550, or did you what did you put for U-joints in the front? I'm gonna get the Ford stock ones. I think they're dirt cheap. Yeah, I would plan on $3 or $4 grand to regear it. But if you could buy the truck for cheaper and then drive it and see how it is, if you hate it, then you regear it. It's not cheap, but you got good gears. The axle set is set up. So, I don't know. The 430 ones, I don't think that's hard to find. That True Track is cool. Isn't that's the helical one? Is it True Track a helical one, or is that an actual locker? I can't remember what that is. Yeah, so in the actual Super 60, a lot of people call the Dana 60 that I put in the Super 60, and it's not. They're the bigger trucks. I think it was the 450 and the 550 got what's actually called the Super 60, and it has the same size shafts in it, but it has bigger U-joints, and it's a factory Ford part to get a 1550, I think, U-joint from Ford. So that's what I'll be doing in the front of this truck probably. So can do the front and rear with True Track, I think. So I've got is a True Track the same as a Detroit? I don't really know. But I have a Detroit, which is like the spring. There's a short on my channel of how Detroit works. It's gear clicks and springs that let it, like when you're not on the gas, it releases so it can spin each tire individually. And then when you're on the gas, it locks everything up. So I have a Yukon Grizzly locker in the front, which is Yukon's version of it. And I've got a Detroit in the rear. Yeah, so True Track Tealco. Yeah, you totally could run True Track front and rear. You can run Detroit's front and rear. I'm doing it. Not as good on the road, though. I'll admit. I don't know that I would drive this thing on the road in four-wheel drive. It's like I've tried it, and it is sketchy. So I don't know if I would drive it in the snow in four-wheel drive. Maybe I would lock like one wheel in or something on the front. Won't lock one hub. But yeah, the Detroits are definitely for wheeling. A little different. Yeah, I like that True Track setup. That's what I'd put in my other truck. It's just for this one I wanted to go ridiculous because I just want them to work every time and I want it to be locked, and dang, it works, man. This last trip was crazy. Just the way with this thing with lockers now is just so point and shoot. It's kind of insane. You see something and you just turn up to it and it barks the tires turning, but goes right up. What else we got, folks? Glad to have a couple of True Excursion guys on here. My buddy Saltwater Bass around. That guy's always commenting. Really appreciate your support, man. And I'm glad you're an Excursion guy. Glad all you guys are Excursion guys. It's really fun to sit here and just have conversations with this community. I'm glad to be, hoping to be the guy who's kind of the Excursion guy. So I don't. I've tried to build things light. He asked about reducing weight on the truck. I tried to build things light, but you can only reduce so much. I don't really know what else I would do to take weight out of the truck. When I bobbed it and did all that, I lost like 400 pounds. So I already did it kind of. So I was able to build back some things and not go much over the weight. Like I said, when I started, it was 72. That was bone stock with nothing cut or anything like that, and now it's yeah, that's exactly the point. The great that's the great mindset to have, Daniel, is don't add crap you don't need. So like, there's a reason this truck doesn't have a rack on the roof. There's a reason that my spare's on the floor in the back. There's a reason the spare tire's not hanging out the back of the truck, and like all those things, right? So, but I kind of reduced a bunch of weight by bobbing it, removing a bunch of the interior stuff, going to the Lexicon windows on the back instead of glass, and all of that was like worth, I forget, I think it was, yeah, hell no rooftop tent. I sleep inside. But yeah, I think when I got done with it, it was like maybe 600 pounds that I took out. And then the next time I weighed it was with the tires on it. So I think it was 600 pounds probably that I took out, bobbing it and removing all the interior and getting rid of the third row and like all of that stuff. And so I kind of put myself in the deficit first, and then I'm slowly building back. My goal was to be under 8K, and I still am. With just me in it, it's just right around 77. And I've still got some things to add. I've got another gas tank to add, and I got some skid plates for both gas tanks. But it's gonna stay right, and the roll cage. The roll cage is gonna be a problem. The roll cage is gonna be heavy, but that's a safety thing. I need it. I need it to go on Ultimate Adventure, and I need it for dumb stuff I want to do with this truck. So, it's gonna be a thing. But no, you'll never see me with a rooftop tent on this truck. Shouldn't say that. Yeah. The tank. You're thinking about bobbing it? Somebody's pulling in my driveway. It's probably Amazon. Yeah, it's Amazon. I can hear the truck. Yeah, so the fuel tank, I had to build a custom tank because bobbing it, right? So the factory tank goes to the back bumper. So I couldn't use the factory tank. So I bought a, there's a bunch of videos on it. If you look up gas tank or something on my channel, you'll see like there was this saga going on. I think I did like 4 different alterations of gas tanks. And then finally I bought an Amazon fuel cell, and then we made it bigger. So it was like a 15-gallon fuel cell from Amazon. It's 9 inches tall, and I could make it bigger still, I've noticed now. I've never actually rubbed it on anything. And so it's got, yeah, so I took an Amazon fuel cell, we made it bigger on both sides, kind of made it similar shape to the factory one. It's got a, departure thing on the back of it, and it holds like 23.5 gallons, is what it holds. And so, how you doing, Alejandro? And so, yeah, so that's what's going on the gas tank currently. It has I cut an in-tank pump in it, and I put a Suzuki XL7 pump in the gas tank, and so 23 gallons, that's the problem. So I'm building a belly tank currently. I have a buddy that's building it. He's been pretty busy, but it hopefully is going to be done here pretty soon. And the belly tank will go between the transfer case and the axle, essentially. It's going to be like 50 inches long, but only like 7 inches tall and 7 inches wide. So like super long and skinny. And that will hold, I'm hoping 12 more. If I get 12 more, be up at 35, be pretty nice. Any tips on modifications? If you're more interested in just towing a camper. Awesome, Alejandro. Would I sell the card file? There's not a file. I bought another Amazon fuel cell, and then I cut it in half, and we're gonna make the ends of it long. So there's not a file. I could probably have my buddy make a CAD file possibly for it. Let me ask him about that. Swiper, any tips on modifications if you're just going to tow? What motor do you got? That's the first thing I want to know, Swiper. First live. I would love for you to ask me a question. Dies when you turn your lights on. Ooh, that's a fun one. That's an interesting one. I would start with the alternator. Looking for a V10. If your idea is to tow a camper, oh, you were talking. Sorry, I forgot. Swiper, were you talking earlier about you want the ones with 430s in it? If your pure goal is to tow a camper, I don't know if I could say you should get a V10. But I do love how much cheaper they are. I always tell people, like, honestly, I think the V10 is a better buy nowadays because you can buy one with less miles for cheaper, and so you can get a nicer truck for less money. Because everybody with 7.3, and up here in the Pacific Northwest, they are dirt cheap. I get not wanting a diesel too. That's friggin' stinky. Diesels are dirt cheap up here. I've seen them for under 10 grand for 7.3s up here, which is insane. Also, I found a really nice. Yes, it is an Excursion, Nathan. I found a really nice one. If you're looking, yeah, I just found today on Facebook a super clean, like looks like Grandpa owned. They want like $3K for it, and I think it has under 200,000 miles. If you shoot me an email, Swiper, I'll send you that listing on Facebook. geeks4x4@gmail.com. Other mods for towing, man, I would just towing with the V10. Like, here's what you're gonna have. You're gonna be slow up the hills. That's okay. If you go 456s, you're gonna use tons of fuel. But honestly, it's just a reliable thing. It likes RPM, and it'll be just fine. It's gonna work hard, and it's gonna complain about it. But I really think that the way that these motors are set up, they really don't have enough horsepower to really hurt themselves. And so, it's keeping up with the oil changes and keeping oil in it, and, maybe throw some headers on and exhaust. And like I just learned last week, you can buy a Hydra tuner and get some tunes for it. So you could get some tunes you could try. Yeah, it's a vibe. I get that, man. Thanks, Alejandro. Yeah, buy a V10 Excursion instead of that 2024 F-150. Just kidding. Yeah, so that would be my thing. Yeah, maybe an exhaust, maybe a tune. Don't even change. The air filter on these things is crazy good from the factory. Just make it, do it. There's a video on my channel of how to do a free cold air intake for a V10. And if you did that, then you get fresh air, and then you get good exhaust. And if you get a little tune in there, just send it. Don't worry about it. Just know you're going to be slow and using gas. And enjoy the heck out of it, because it should be reliable as heck. I'm so impressed with these V10s. Oh, I do have another upgrade. 6-liter transcooler. You got to keep the transmission cold. Because you get the transmission warmed up, it's going to be a problem. Man, I appreciate you coming in here and supporting the live. That is amazing. If you could hit that like button, I'm loving it. Are you building an off-road truck with that 7.3 long wheelbase? Or long bed? It's a vibe. I don't know anything hardly about those 2.7s. I don't remember. That's a V6, right? I think it's a little V6. I think it's the motor that comes in the ST. I bought a 2016 Ford Edge for my wife. That has a 3.5 in it. And it came with a 4-cylinder, but it also came with a little hot rod V6, and I think that's the 2.7. I don't know. I've not heard that much bad things about them in the sports on the Edge pages. So that's good. But I don't know anything. I'm an old car guy, man. Yeah, I like cars as old as I am. They, I don't know. I think people were making better vehicles back then. I don't believe that 2.7 is the one with the coolant problems where it eats coolant. And also, you're at 2024, so I think they fixed that anyway. So it should be a little screamer probably in that F-150. It probably does burnouts, right? Ah, fresher paint. That's the worst thing you can do for an off-road rig. Just kidding. That's awesome, man. I'm totally, I'm a 7.3 guy at heart. I love my old 7.3, and I'm glad to see people restoring them and making them really nice. I think it's really cool. I someday hope to be able to do that to mine. For now, I'm just trying to keep it nice. It's, yeah, been in the family forever, so unfortunately, the white Ford paint is the worst thing about trying to keep it nice, because white Ford paint just decides it doesn't want to be on the vehicle anymore, and it just comes off. This blue paint's holding up way better than the white paint, and this thing's been driven through trees, like literal trees. Well, and rocks. That happens. Details. That paint's not flaking off as bad as the white paint. It's so sad. Yes. Oh my gosh. It's actually really funny. Have I thought of rear steer? No, I'm not that's too much moving parts for me. My thought to do what you were talking about is a Magnum box from Off-Road Design that I can control the front axle separately, which means I can front dig. So I could put it in front wheel low, so 2 low front wheel drive, and turn the whole thing on a dime like that. Rear steer is interesting, but there's too many moving parts. Not reliable enough for off-road, I don't think, for what I'm doing. The truck's just not built big enough for like all the rear steer setup. Yeah, the guys with buggies and stuff, that's a really lightweight thing. Tractor brakes, I've seen some guys talking about that. There's the guy that owns Helga, that one that I think One Up Off-Road built, that's on like 54s or something, massive tires. I think he said he's got turning and cutting brakes. And so kind of interesting. I think I'd rather have the front dig. I think. We'll see. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we'll add some weird stuff like that. But I don't like messing with stuff that I want to keep it really reliable. And I think reliability is the biggest unsung hero of the off-road world, is having a really reliable rig and simple to fix. You start complicating it with because I could do line locks and stuff like that too. I think he has cutting brakes on the back. I think it's what he has. But like I said, that's probably not something that I'm gonna do. I'm too old school. No thanks. Yeah, because I could do like a line lock cutting brake, I guess. But I don't know. That's scary. That's your brakes. And you're coming down stuff or you're doing things. And I want the brakes to work every time. All the time. It's so windy outside. I don't know if you guys can hear the garage doors creaking. It's kind of crazy. Man, been live for 110 minutes. This is crazy. So this live, that's got some of you guys in here. I don't think I've said this for a while either. I'm answering questions. So this live is one of the first of many, hopefully. The Chats with Geek live. I'm hoping to do this every Wednesday at 2. I don't know if that time is going to keep working. It does work for me when I go back and I'm working in the afternoons at the high school. So I know I can keep it up from there. And essentially, the hope is that I'm going to do Chats with Geek 3 to 5 minute videos. I'm going to do 2 of those every week at least, answering other questions. I might take some questions from here and answer them with a video there. But otherwise, it's just going to be stuff like this. And it's going to be, you know, all of, you know, stuff like this, and once a week live, and we're just going to talk and chat and try and help you guys out. It'll be awesome. Thanks, man. Really appreciate you, you know, coming on here and just trying to belittle me. It's super nice. I'm really glad that the internet has that ability, you know. Super great. Yeah, pretty cool. You had a windstorm. Oh dang, that would have been bad. Daniel, where are you at, man? Thanks, Emmett. Ben, I think you can take off, man. You can find somebody else to pick on in their comments, because I don't really need it. But I mean, you can come. That's great. You look really strong coming and trying to make it in front of me on the internet. But this is just kind of a nice little chat. So if you want to go find somebody, you can probably do that. Oh, you're in California. Where are you at? I grew up in Southern Cal, so. What up, No Name? How you doing? Yeah, it's funny because there is not, I can't just like block somebody. I can report them. But I can't. Like, I can only remove and stuff like that, which is super dumb to me. Wait, maybe I can hide this user. Hide? Oh, yeah. Hide user. I'm just learning the live thing, guys. This is like, I appreciate that. Yeah, got it. It's just so annoying because you're like, I'm just trying to sit here and be live, and I don't know if that's like a bot or if that's like just a person being an a-hole. Like, I don't really know, but I just don't. It doesn't matter. I don't know if this is. I don't know what this is either. This other might need to go away too. So. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like an odd. So anyway, I've been live a little bit. I was live a little bit before we went on this trip, and we had that problem a couple times too. But we, do the same thing. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it's just like either people are just coming in trying to be jerks, or if it's a bot, I don't really know. Whatever. I'm on the internet. I know I'm gonna get made fun of. It's fine. The best part is today everybody's been making fun of my hairline, which is just great, because it's fun to get old, man. The funniest thing, my grandpa was bald at 20, so I'm doing good. What else you guys got? Swiper, glad to see you're still in here. Hadn't posted for a while. Just kind of hanging out. Yeah, I wish I had more V10 towing experience for you. I don't. I'm lucky enough to have a 7.3. So, like I said, this truck will never get... I've towed a flatbed trailer with this truck, and I towed it I towed it mostly at like 4 miles an hour or 3 miles an hour because we were in a parade, and then I took it back to the guy's house we borrowed it from. And That was with the 410s, and it did it just fine. And I cruised up to 50 miles an hour, like not a big deal. But I don't know. It's just an empty flatbed. Wasn't anything exciting. What else you guys got for me? Coming up on 2 hours live. My phone is dying. Getting close. I don't know if I can do this 2 hours every time, but it has been really fun. Got to talk to a lot of you guys, and wheel bounce tricky. The only tricky part about wheel bouncing is that somehow somebody told my discount tire that they couldn't do 40s, and so the last manager refused to do 40s, even though they fit on his machine, and so that was annoying. So I had to go to Les Schwab, but Les Schwab, they just balance them, no problem. Yeah, it's just stick-on weights on the back of the wheel. We just blew a tire on this trip, and then luckily had the warranty on it, and so just got a brand new tire. It's on the other side over there, and it took 5.5 ounces of weight. This one right here took 7. Those ones in the back have like 15 on them. Like they got and one of them I don't think would balance. So it's yeah, I mean, surprisingly enough, they actually balance okay. Yeah. When I first put the Milestars on it, I put golf balls in them because that's an old trucker trick, and that didn't really work. What kind of off-road features do you have on your Excursion? How do I hide behind being gay so well? See, this is the kind of comment, so you're just like, what? Like, I don't need to have this in my life. He's gone now. Off-road stuff. To Mr. Swiper's son. The list is long, my friend. Have you guys seen the walk-around video of this truck? You should probably go check it out after we're done here. It's got coil, or it's got the 4-link and coils on the front, and then the back is actually stock Excursion springs, but the shackle is flipped. Yeah, the golf balls were crazy. Shackle's flipped on the back, stock springs. I removed the overload spring on the back, and then I did remove the bottom springs for a while, and I put them back because it bent the springs. And Skyjacker Black Max shocks. Got Detroit lockers front and rear. Well, a Yukon Grizzly in the front, which is the exact same as a Detroit, essentially. It's got Ram Assist on the steering. And, you know, a winch, lights, skid plates. I built some custom skid plates. Bobbed the back of it so that it doesn't hit rocks. So the whole truck's 12 inches shorter. But yeah, golf balls. Golf balls are an old school truck, like big rig guy trick. They used to throw them in their tires, and it would balance out. I did not drive it to Moab with the golf balls in it, if that tells you enough about them. But like sometimes they would start up and they'd get caught on something and like not balance. They're kind of like the beads, essentially, just with golf balls. Great Mammoth, you're back. What's up, buddy? Yeah, had some off-road features. 100%. Yeah, I had to do the Ram Assist for the 40s. I don't think I could. There were still points where I couldn't turn it this trip because it was wedged somewhere because the thing weighs so much. Yeah. Let's see. T1 low altitude flight. Any tips on the 4-link up front? You got a kit coming. Do you already have a coil kit installed on the front of that, or what's you got coil buckets and stuff coming from PMF too? But yeah, no, 100% I'd do the Ram again. I need to play with it a little bit. It actually loosened the tie rod at one point during the week in Moab. So I had to tighten it back up. But that wasn't a big deal. But the way I had to set it out, a little bit, so it kind of pushes out on the tie rod because of the diff cover. With the coil front end, there's not very much room in this thing to put it. So I had to mount it really weirdly. And it works, but yeah, it's a little different. So, but yeah, I'm super happy with it. It makes like you literally you could turn the whole thing with your finger. It's with a 40. It's insane. My only thing for the 4-link, if you've got the kit coming from PMF, and you want to stay low, if you're lifted really high, you're gonna need the bottom hole. But I actually cut the bottom mount off of this to try and keep it tucked up, and I still hangs really low. I'm actually gonna try. I kind of want to try their 3-link kit. Oh, okay, cool. So if you're, I mean, I have a video on installing the coil kit that just shows, but essentially you're in for a whole bunch of drilling. Get yourself a really nice 1/2-inch drill bit. I think I don't remember if the factory bolts are 1/2-inch, but the PMF bolts are 1/2-inch bolts. Get yourself a couple of really nice 1/2-inch drill bits and a drill that can get really nice and hot. And yeah, just start drilling. Al Claude does have a really nice build. He's built a very nice truck. I made the PMF buckets custom recently. I took and curved the edges because I couldn't turn the tire at full flex. Tire's still rubbing. I noticed the other day, it's still rubbing right at the top of this coil bucket at some point. I don't even know when, because on the CTI trailer it didn't rub. So, and it's rubbing in the back somewhere. So the PMF brackets are really, really nice, but they're really big. So you kind of gotta, I don't know, I made them smaller. Just, I don't know, just take stuff off and cut it, right? Yeah, the drill bit thing is a pain. The holes are there. Most of them are there. Yeah, so my PMF brackets did have more holes for adjustment, but I still couldn't bring them up. So it has 2 holes for each arm. So there's an upper and a lower mount on the, I can show you guys. I think, let's see. Flip it around. Yeah, so you got an upper and a lower hole. There's a hole right below that bolt, but then down here there was another one even lower. So I cut that one off. I don't think there's more on the newer ones. I might be wrong. If there is, I need to talk to Trevor. Get me some newer links, because I just can't get them high enough. And that's like, so when I bent the frame and stuff, that's why, because those links are those mounts are so long. Yeah, because those mounts are just so stinking long that they cause pressure on the thing. So yeah. So if you are running a 4-link, and you're low like me, I don't know how much lift you have, or if you actually wheel it and you're gonna drop it on rocks, because I literally use the control arms as rock sliders, like daily when I'm wheeling. Maybe more than that, maybe a couple times a day. And if you're going to do that, like I am, you need to box the frame in and build a brace between them. So that's what my transmission skid plate is. It goes between, so there's a 3/16, 1.5 inch steel bar that is got plates on either side of it that are mounted to the control arm mounts, so that they can't do this, because they want to do this when you lay them on stuff, because the C channel of the frame does this. So I actually boxed the C right above them too, and they look straight after this trip, so that's good. And they did Trail Hero this year too, so they've done good. So yeah, that's my random thoughts for the day. What else we got? You say you're in California, Daniel? I forget where you're at. You did come to Trail Hero, dude. This truck sounds rad. You got 4-link already? Where are you at, low altitude flight? Are you in Are you in Southern? Are you on the West Coast too? Guys, I just posted up an event for Trail Hero. I'm doing Geeks 4x4 run on Friday. And you don't have to come for just Friday. You can come. Dude, you totally should go. It's in October. It's the first week of October. Like I said, my run's on Friday. You could come out for Friday and Saturday. I don't even know what trail I'm doing on Saturday. South Central Montana. Holy crud. Low flight altitude. You're not that far from me. I'm in Washington State. I'm dead center in Washington. Yeah. So anyway, Trail Hero. It's a week-long thing, Tuesday to Saturday, essentially. So you can do 5 days of trails in Sand Hollow. If either of you guys come or anybody watching this later decides to come, if you've watched this for 2 hours and you are hearing me talk about Trail Hero, you need to come and hang out. And if you do come, you need to be sure to email me and let me know, because I will let you know all of my trails, and then you can just come and wheel with me all week. I still haven't wheeled with another excursion. I wheeled with a Suburban in Missouri. I wheeled with a Suburban first, people. That is sad. That is really sad. I didn't want to wheel with a Suburban first. Just kidding. But I didn't. I loved wheeling with Brandon, but I would have really liked for a full-size SUV to be my first one that Bob got to wheel with was a Suburban. Come on. That's pretty weak. Excursion guys are not representing. And I know that we've got excursion guys that wheel because, yeah. Yeah, thanks for not mentioning the hairline, man. Jeez. You can make fun of me for it. I don't really care. Doesn't really matter. I work with high school kids, and we were sitting on the bus last Saturday, and they were all making fun of the fact that they could see my bald spot. So this hairline thing is a problem. And high school kids, they don't care. They'll tell you anything. So, but yeah, if you got a decently built excursion, you can follow me. It's not, I will, they're brutal. This is freaking ridiculous. Yeah, if you got a decently built excursion, we can do everything that we're doing, and we'll get you through it. If not, we'll get you around it. That's the cool part about Sand Hollow is if you really don't like something, there's a way around it, and and that's really fun. So yeah, I really like Sand Hollow. Trail Hero itself is my favorite event of the year. So if there's an event that you're like, I want to do this one time and just try off-roading at an event, Trail Hero is the one you need to try. It is, it's incredible. So what do you got done to yours, Daniel? You said you got a 4-link on it too? How much lift you got? What size tires? Oh no, don't tell me you're one of the guys on 12 inches of lift though. Come on. Just kidding. Oh man, that's my favorite post ever. In the 13, Indiana Land Diamond Mining. You on 13 inches of lift? Get a 54-inch tire to fill that up. 50. Wait, Daniel, you're on that 4-link though with a 33. Oh, so do you have just a coil swap and a 33? Might need a little bit bigger to be happy in life. No lift and a 33. But are you are coil swapped or you're not? Coil swap with a 4-link only on 33s. Yeah, so you are low. You're on 4 and 37s. Dude, low altitude flat. You need 40s on that 4 inches. They'll fit, I promise. Just start cutting. Oh. Cool. That sounds cool. Indian land diamond mining. It sounds like neat rig. 13-inch wheels. Yeah, that's low. That's a little small. Yeah, Daniel, you can come. You will drag the control arms though, if you do come and wheel, because yeah, they're low, especially if you're 4-linked with the coil. That is that means you're quite low to the ground. But they do work as rock sliders for a little while, and you don't need to use them. You don't need to box the frame. Yeah, well, depends on how you drive, I guess. Where I take you. Yes, no, dude, I know. Yeah, no, I know. It takes time. The only reason that this truck is actually on 40s is because my friends gave me 40s. Like, that was the goal, but I was hoping for a tire sponsor. I was hoping for that, and I still would really like a tire sponsor. Mickey Thompson is the one I would really, really like. I really like the way that those tires look. But because they were switching tires around and stuff, I got a set of 40s. And another buddy of mine gave me the Milestars at first, and so I got to run that. And that's the only reason it's there, because it takes time. This thing takes time, man. Yeah. Yeah, if you had 35s or 37s, and you could fit 37s on there easy with no lift. But if you're coil swapped, you're already a couple inches higher anyway. You're like I am. So I think 37s is like brilliant for a stock coil swap truck that you don't want to chop up as bad as I've chopped up. Because I've taken a lot. Like if you still had the rockers on this truck, you'd have to take a ton out of the rocker. Yeah. Don't have the rockers. Or you could do the same thing and just start cutting and put 40s on it. Because 40s fit with stock coils. And a 4-link. Been there, done that. This truck is a little bit taller now. The Skyjacker spring lifted the front like an inch. They're 2-inch springs. And I got gas motor ones for a 250, which means that it's a 5.4 gas. And they were out, my other springs were out of a 5.4 as well. So they're a little light, but they flex so good. If you have not seen my post from today on the CTI trailer, this thing, like, just the springs essentially gave it another 100 points on the CTI trailer. The springs and the 4-link. Like, it's pretty insane. It's, yeah, pretty dang rad. So, well, cool, man. Yours sounds cool, too. Yep, lightest spring rate you can and get the links. And except, like I said, I'm thinking about going back to that. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about the way it flexes. I'm thinking about going back. PMF makes, like, they call it a 3-link, which is essentially just a factory control arm that has flexible joints at the end. The issue that it might work, because the reason that it might work is the front doesn't really move all that much, because the coils from a heavy truck don't have the extension to stay in the buckets. So like this has limit straps on it, and they're 13-inch limit straps, just to keep the coils in the bucket the way it's set up, because it will drop all the way down, and the shocks are long enough to drop it all the way down, but the coil does not stay. So in that picture at the Metal Cloak trailer, I can spin the coil, and everybody says you're not supposed to be able to do that. So I need to what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it kind of like the Jeep, where it's going to have a retainer on the bottom, and then it's going to have a little bit of a slide on the top, so it can actually come down and not come out. So right now it has just enough where it can't really come out, but it could come out if it was bad. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm thinking about getting out of here. Got any last minute things that we should chat about this week? If not, like I said, I'll be back 2 o'clock Pacific time next Wednesday. Hopefully that time works for people. I might have to move it, but it works well for me. I don't really know. We'll see. I'm going to be consistent about this. Doing live once a week, and I am going to do these other videos. Yeah, springs drop out. That's why limit straps exist. Because these dang things, like I said, it will drop the front to the floor with the 4-link in it. But I have to limit it because I can't keep the springs in. And coils, like I'm looking at coilovers. Like Skyjacker makes some really nice coilovers. That would be cool. And I could do them, but I actually get less travel out of a coilover because the height issue in here, there's not enough room for a tall enough coil to get more travel than I currently have. I've got 9.5 inches of travel up and down on both sides on the front. So the front one tread from the metal clug trailer, that one that's up in the front is at 19 inches. The front's at 19, the back's at 18. So engine cage. What's up, Kate? How you doing? Engine cage. Oh, to go. Yeah, I mean that's what you could do. You could put coils up in the hood, and then you could maybe do it. But like all the vacuum stuff is up in there. Yeah, Kate, what's up? Kate from Kansas City. You an Excursion? Heck yeah. Yeah, you could mount this, and I could mount the springs higher too. But you got to find a spring that extends, that can go down with it, is the more the problem. So, and the heavy rate springs just don't extend as far. So, but with the coilover, yeah, I think that would be the trick, is to go up into the engine bay and do that. Heck yeah, Kate, come to Trail Hero or come to Moab. Let's go wheeling together. Sounds like a good old time. It doesn't matter to me. Oh gosh, you found a good one, huh? Okay. Got rid of that person again. Apparently they have another account. Just trolling around. See ya, man. Good luck on your coil swap. It's just take your time. That's all I gotta say. All right, guys. I'm gonna peace out. Later we go, the more trolls we get. So we're gonna get out of here. And yeah, if anybody figures out the how to get longer springs in a shorter space, my TJ springs drop out like 8 inches on each other. This ones won't do that. so yeah. So someday maybe I'll just build a big old coil cage and put 14-inch coilovers on front of this thing. That'd be freaking sick. We'll see. Someday, maybe. Keep watching. Keep staying tuned. I'm out. I'm going to get out of here. Bye, folks.